So here we go. This is the big one for me always. It's such a contentious issue, vibrato. Yeah. Vibrato. I'm sure that my vibrato high up on the violin is going to be different from your vibrato low down on the viola, but how do you generally teach it?
So the first thing about vibrato is to remember that, for me at least, that vibrato is the movement of the first joint of the finger. So if your first joint is free, then you can vibrate. If it isn't, you're not going to be able to. So that links into having a very untense left hand, very soft palm, soft thumb, all the things that we already know. And the next thing is that we should always vibrate up and down the strings in a line this way, not around there. Because if you start coming around, you're just adding so much tension, and it makes life very, very difficult indeed. To practice that, I'm a great believer that if you start big and then refine, then life's easier. It's much harder to make something small get bigger.
Okay,
in my view. So I always start with something crazy, and it always sounds terrible, and I quite take a pride in that. So if you imagine that line on your wrist, this is to practice wrist vibrato. I stick that on the bottom of the viola there. Wherever your note is on your viola, with your size hand, it will be different to mine, so that's fine. And I stick the nail on the string. So I'm really bent. You can.
So that tip's coming straight down onto
the string. It really is,
yeah.
And then in a rhythmic fashion, I'm going to get this right back to there.
Oh gosh, go on then.
Yeah, and you can see that that's collapsed that joint. There, and then triplets. And on it goes.
Yeah.
Now, the thing to remember about that is that if you're me, there will be moments where you have these sort of spasms of nervous something that your hand sort of remembers, and you'll find yourself going. Don't go on to the next speed until that doesn't happen.
Yes.
So do not, because your hand's just not ready and you're just wasting your time.
Yes.
So my test for that is I should be able to walk around the room, looking out the window, thinking about something completely different, and it won't do that. And it's just so relaxed and so easy that I'm not thinking, and it's there.
Yeah. And you're going up there in multiples of 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. It's very similar to how I teach on the violin.
I do 4, 5, 6, 8.
5.
Because it's hard.
Very good.
I'm a great believer that your practice should be harder than your concert.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you on that one.
Yes, because otherwise the audience is finding out.
It's a little bit rite of spring, that though, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
5, 7, 11, 13.
And then you do exactly the same for wrist, away from the instrument. And then with arm vibrato, so actually just to say, with the wrist there, you can think that I'm pushing down from the joint here, but the motion up is coming from the part of the back of the hand here. That way.
Love it.
So if we then go into arm vibrato, we practice exactly the same way. It's still moving the first joint, but this time the motor is the inside and the outside of the arm. Again, let's choose a different finger. Again, we start with a nail on the string, and the arm is now going to bring this back. And there should be no wrist bend. Lots of my students do that. And that's a killer. So again, we're going in a straight line. And again, we do exactly the same thing. And the same rules apply, because you'll find yourself doing that by mistake. So do not go on to the same, do not go on to the next speed until you've done that.
Yeah.
Last thing to say about vibrato, and I think this is the commonest misconception, that to sound great that you use the same vibrato speed throughout a phrase. And I don't know about you, but when I'm teaching my students, it's so hard. And you can demonstrate that really easily. If let's say I'm going to play an A at mezzo forte, 5 out of 10, whatever that is. Yes, medium range. So there are. So let's call that 5.
Okay.
Now, watch what I have to do with the fingers to make exactly the same vibrato. hand has to do such different things. That's just to keep it one sound, very boringly equal 5 and all the way through.
Yeah.
So if you keep your vibrato at the same speed through a phrase, you've got no inflection. And actually sometimes you're below what you need just to make a note sound good anyway. So you're there. So you might need on this note, you need lots. This note, you need a bit less. But it's part of the phrase. First finger always needs the most. Especially on the viola. I don't know how it is on the violin, but a D flat on the C string needs crazy verb.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm really letting off the weight there in the left hand. So I'm almost, can you hear?
yes.
It's almost breaking, and it gives you this amazing width.
So it's quite a light touch there in your left hand down the bottom.
Hugely light.
I just can't help myself when I'm down the bottom of the instrument. I just want to give it more anyway.
It's such as the best note in the viola, D flat, don't you think?
Oh, well.
I don't know, what's yours?
Yes.
Well,
Well, it's interesting. So my favourite note on the violin is D flat, which of course is not there on the violin at all.
No.
Don't know why. I think it's because essentially I'm quite a lazy person. So D flat on the violin's there. And I just sort of stick my elbow on my side, put my wrist up like that. Yes, that says a lot about me. That's not good.
there it is.
Brilliant. Love it.